Learning about how machines can make us mightier? Now that's an idea that piques the curiosity of many people these days. Welcome to Guide to Reads, where we're diving into the exciting possibilities of how AI could actually empower us humans, rather than replace us. Today we'll be exploring the book Superagency by LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman and journalist Beato. It's an optimistic yet practical roadmap for how AI could amplify our own capabilities while steering clear of those pesky dystopian nightmares. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more insights about our tech-shaped future. You know, it's funny how history tends to repeat itself. Back in the 15th century, religious leaders were up in arms about this newfangled invention called the printing press. They warned it would unleash pure chaos, letting those dangerously subversive ideas spread like wildfire. Fast forward a few centuries, and people were up in arms about the telephone, claiming it would ruin genuine human connection. But time and time again, we've seen breakthrough technologies become essential to modern life, despite the initial fears. And now, artificial intelligence, AI, is facing similar skepticism. These AI systems can engage in pretty sophisticated conversations, solve complex problems, and even mimic human-like reasoning. It's no wonder people are both awestruck and anxious about what it all means. At the heart of these worries is our sense of human agency, our ability to maintain control over our lives and make our own choices. Will AI take our jobs, erode our privacy, make us too dependent on machines for everyday tasks? It's a lot to wrap our heads around. But here's a more optimistic possibility to consider. Just like the Industrial Revolution used synthetic energy to massively expand our physical capabilities, AI represents an opportunity to amplify our intelligence and decision-making power. Imagine every child having access to a personal tutor as knowledgeable as the legendary Leonardo da Vinci, or having a highly capable health advisor right in their pocket. This fusion of human and artificial intelligence could create what we're calling superagency, an unprecedented boost to individual human potential. So join us as we discover how AI might not just change our world, but truly enhance our human abilities in ways we're only starting to imagine. It's an exciting journey ahead. 1. Mental health for the millions. The stirring waters that Rob Morris's mental health platform Coco has set into motion. In early 2023, this tech developer's bold move to infuse AI into providing supportive messages for users in emotional distress ignited an unexpected firestorm. But here's the rub. Users consistently rated these AI-assisted responses even higher than those from human hands. And each message clearly disclosed its AI origins. Yet social media couldn't help but erupt with accusations of exploitation. This incident perfectly encapsulates the delicate balance we face in AI development. How do we responsibly tackle urgent problems while managing hypothetical risks? Because the existing challenges in mental health care couldn't be more pressing. In 2022, the U.S. saw its highest suicide rate since 1941, with nearly 50,000 precious lives lost. Another 100,000 people succumbed to the grip of drug overdoses. And to make matters even more heartbreaking, 129 million Americans live in areas lacking sufficient mental health professionals, forcing many to wait agonizing months for much-needed care. Traditional solutions, it seems, are falling devastatingly short. Current digital mental health apps, over 10,000 strong, hold promise but face significant limitations. Until recently, their chatbots have relied on rigid, pre-programmed responses that can feel as cold and impersonal as a machine. It's no wonder, then, that a mere 3.9% of users stick with these apps past the initial 2 weeks. But what if mental health care could be reimagined, like Spotify, accessible anytime, deeply personalized, and mercifully affordable? Advanced AI systems could analyze millions of therapy interactions, unearthing insights into which approaches work best for different individuals. Unlike the chatbots of old, these AI companions could engage in nuanced, contextually appropriate conversations that truly adapt to each user's unique needs and circumstances. A 2023 study in JAMA Internal Medicine provided striking evidence of AI's potential. When physicians blindly evaluated advice from both human doctors and ChatGPT, they rated the AI's responses higher in a remarkable 78.6% of cases, finding them more comprehensive and, remarkably, even more empathetic. So let's cast aside our preconceptions about AI and imagine a world where everyone has access to as much clinically validated therapeutic support as they desire. Users could test different approaches, combine multiple styles, or even assemble virtual therapy teams for real-time second opinions. Researchers have already analyzed 160,000 anonymized therapy sessions containing over 20 million messages, using AI to identify the most effective approaches for different contexts. This data-driven insight could revolutionize how we personalize mental health care. The authors are adamant that this vision is not about replacing human therapists, but rather providing more options for how mental health care can be delivered. AI could empower human practitioners to serve more patients and provide immediate support when therapists are unavailable. At the end of the day, this could mean a world with abundant mental health care, a world where regular access to AI-powered therapeutic support reshapes our very capacity for kindness and understanding. It may sound like a far-fetched dream to some, but is it possible that through the power of neural networks and server clusters, we might become not just more technologically advanced, but more deeply, profoundly human? 2. A speed limit on progress. The story of the devil wagon, those newfangled automobiles that struck such fear into the hearts of our ancestors. It's remarkable how quickly a revolutionary technology can become the source of both excitement and trepidation. Just imagine the terror of those early New Yorkers, watching helplessly as their children were snatched away in those speeding metal contraptions. It must have felt like the world was changing in ways they couldn't control. No wonder they resorted to desperate measures like digging trenches to stop the unstoppable machines. But there's a deeper lesson here, isn't there? Rather than shutting down progress, the automobile pioneers embraced experimentation and innovation. They raced their creations, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. And through this trial and error process, they made crucial advancements in safety and reliability. It's a cautionary tale for how we approach the rise of artificial intelligence. AI, like the automobile, has the power to transform our lives in both wondrous and terrifying ways. The temptation is to hit the brakes, to demand that it prove its safety before we let it loose. But as the history of the car shows, that's a dangerous path, one that could rob us of AI's revolutionary potential. No, the wise approach is to let AI develop through real-world testing and iteration. Let the public engage with it, let the developers learn from its use and its flaws. Only then can we strike the right balance, managing the risks while harnessing the benefits. It may feel risky, but it's the surest way to create a future where AI enhances, rather than enslaves, our human experience. 3. Guiding progress with guardrails. We've seen how knee-jerk overregulation can stifle both innovation and safety, but that doesn't mean all regulation is inherently restrictive or misplaced. Can we instead use regulation to enhance, rather than hinder, human agency? Consider the 1800s, when settlers migrating westward faced a grueling journey. Traveling by covered wagon, they moved at a painstaking pace, just 8 to 20 miles per day, depending on terrain, weather, and their own endurance. Their paths were rough, often disappearing unexpectedly and forcing detours. Reaching a destination could take 6 months or more, with winter's arrival looming as a constant threat. Fast forward to today. Modern travelers can cover hundreds of miles in a single day with minimal planning, cruising in air-conditioned cars along smooth, well-marked roads. What once demanded months of hardship is now a leisurely road trip. Of course, driving today comes with regulations, speed limits, licensing requirements, seatbelt laws. Yet rather than restricting mobility, these measures have made it safer and more accessible. The interstate highway system is a prime example of how thoughtful regulation and infrastructure can expand individual freedom. Originally conceived as a Cold War defense project, it evolved into a vast network that transformed travel, making extraordinary mobility an everyday reality. This brings us to artificial intelligence and the expansion of human capability through technology. Like early automobiles, AI offers tremendous potential for expanding what individuals can accomplish. And like highways, making this power broadly accessible will require new frameworks of rules. Just as driver's licenses and traffic laws made cars safer and more useful, AI may require new forms of certification and security measures. Some worry this could restrict freedom, but consider how this might actually work. AI licensing could ensure safe access to powerful models while protecting against misuse. Chains of data provenance could help prevent deepfakes. Identity verification systems could allow widespread access to AI tools, while preventing impersonations and fraud. The right frameworks for AI deployment will help us to trust and adopt these systems, just as standardized road rules help drivers confidently navigate America's highways. South Korea's COVID response provides another illustration of this principle. Rather than implementing lockdowns, they enhanced individual freedom of movement by combining technology with clear regulations and public participation. The country used AI-powered contact tracing in a radically transparent system. This is how AI can expand human agency, through carefully designed systems that make those tools safely accessible to everyone. The key is understanding that freedom isn't static. It evolves with our technological capabilities. New powers require new rules to become truly liberating. 4. Onboard navigation for the information society. Remember life before GPS, when paper maps weren't paper maps, but just maps. The evolution of GPS offers a compelling parallel for understanding AI's potential. Initially, GPS technology was reserved for military use. The first handheld consumer device didn't appear until 1989, and at a steep price, equivalent to $7,727 today. Yet over time, GPS became widely accessible, transforming the way billions of people navigate their daily lives. AI is following a similar democratizing path, but instead of navigating physical space, it helps people traverse complex landscapes of information. Consider a student with dyslexia who can now use AI to convert dense textbooks into accessible audio formats, weaving in examples from their personal hobbies or interests, or a recent immigrant who receives an intimidating legal notice in a non-native language. AI can explain the document's meaning in their own language and provide them with legal references they understand. AI responds to guidance and correction, allowing users to shape the interaction to their specific needs. This democratizing effect is particularly powerful for those who previously lacked access to expertise. In a recent study, customer service representatives using AI assistants saw their productivity jump by 14%. But the most dramatic improvements came from newer employees, who could suddenly tap into years of expert knowledge on demand. For these workers, AI functions like a personal mentor, helping them quickly develop mastery of complex customer interactions. Unlike traditional sources of expertise, AI is instantly accessible, infinitely patient, and available 24/7. For a busy executive, this convenience saves time. But for someone juggling multiple jobs, limited transportation, and scarce childcare, it could be life-changing. The key is that you direct the tool. Just as you might tell your GPS, avoid highways, or find a route past that scenic overlook, you can guide AI to present information in ways that match your learning style, cultural background, and personal interests. It's one thing to have access to information, theoretically. It's another to navigate it confidently, on your own terms. 5. Upgrading democracy. For years, the development of artificial intelligence was dominated by two nations, the United States and China. But today, the AI landscape is becoming more multipolar, as nations recognize that commanding AI capabilities will be crucial to their future prosperity and autonomy. This has given rise to the concept of sovereign AI, the idea that countries must control their own AI development to preserve both their strategic interests and cultural identity. Singapore has launched a national AI strategy specifically designed to reflect regional cultural values and norms. France has pledged $550 million to create its own AI champions, with President Macron emphasizing the importance of developing French-language databases. These programs reflect a growing understanding that AI will fundamentally shape how societies function and evolve. This transformation is also helping governments reimagine public services. South Korea is consolidating approximately 1,500 public services into a single AI-powered portal that will, for instance, proactively notify citizens about benefits they qualify for. The vision is to make government services as seamless as using Amazon or Google. The implications for democratic governance are particularly fascinating. In Taiwan, an AI-powered platform called Police has demonstrated how technology can enhance civic participation in unexpected ways. When Taiwan faced a contentious debate over the regulation of ride-sharing apps, Police helped identify unexpected areas of consensus between pro- and anti-Uber factions. The platform's design prevents trolling and angry exchanges, while using AI to cluster similar viewpoints and highlight areas of agreement. The result was a policy solution that earned broad public support. This points to a more optimistic vision of AI in governance, not as a tool for surveillance or control, but as a means to amplify citizens' voices in policymaking. Forward-thinking countries are discovering that technology can strengthen rather than weaken democratic institutions, enabling more responsive and participatory governance. The nations that successfully navigate this transformation will find themselves with not just more efficient governments, but more engaged and empowered citizenries. Final summary. Superagency stands out in the AI discourse by focusing on what could go right if we steer development wisely. Hoffman and Beato argue that AI's highest potential lies in becoming a vast super tool that amplifies human judgment rather than replacing it, democratizes access to healthcare, education, and opportunity, reinforces democratic institutions through better information systems. While optimistic, the authors acknowledge their proposals require new regulatory frameworks like FDA approvals for AI systems, cultural shifts in how we value human versus algorithmic decision-making, proactive measures to prevent superagency from becoming super surveillance ready to engage with AI's possibilities rather than just its perils. Start by 1. Experimenting with AI tools to augment, not replace your skills. 2. Advocating for transparent AI systems in your workplace, community. 3. Reading Superagency, alongside more cautionary takes like The Coming Wave. Remember, the future isn't something that happens to us, it's something we build. Subscribe for more balanced perspectives on our tech future.